Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Everything is Fine, Nothing is Ruined podcast. I'm your host, Hassan, joined as always by fellow co-host Tristan.
That's me, his fellow co-host.
This week, we're here to talk about one of Tristan's favorite new comics,
Yeah.
about one of DC's greatest detectives,
Fantastic.
which of course means we are here to talk about The Question.
Okay, so The Question's not doing a whole lot right now. Her series did just end.
Right. Yeah, I forgot. You're
yeah,
more of a Detective Chimp guy for greatest detectives. So, folks, we're here to talk Detective Chimp. I'm sorry.
Detective Chimp hasn't been doing much at all, actually. The Question's been doing a hell of a lot more recently.
Okay.
So, yeah, sorry.
DC detectives. John Constantine.
Not a detective. Sorry. Try again. In fact, the less he detects, the better in his series.
Slam Bradley.
Slam Bradley had his own miniseries.
Okay, great. That's what we're here to talk about.
That is not actually. It was done by Tom King, who also wrote this character who we are currently going to discuss. The Slam Bradley series was all right. It was a good detective series set in the 70s, I think, if I recall.
Okay. Gonna need some clues for other DC comic detectives then.
Gotcha. Okay. So it's a man who likes to go out at night, and he's dressed up in Gotham City as a flying mammal.
The Green Hornet?
That's not a mammal.
Yeah.
He's also not in Gotham. Green Hornet's somewhere else. I can't remember where he's from. Maybe Star City. I don't know.
Yeah, these clues just aren't helping, Tristan.
Really? Man. I feel like it's not that hard of a thing to get. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's try a different one. He dresses like a bat, and he punches guys a lot. Maybe a little too much.
Wanna Beast?
Not the worst guess. Okay. He is his alter ego is billionaire Bruce Wayne, who's a billionaire again.
Challengers of the Unknown.
Well, he was in the Challengers comic book recently as a challenger, so there you go.
Wait. Hold on. What do you mean?
Yeah.
The recent Challenger?
Oh.
Who did you see greenlit a new Challengers of the Unknown comic?
It's pretty good.
I'm not saying it isn't. Like, who's looking at that going like, well, we'll sell at least 4 copies?
Okay, well, I that's a great question. And I don't know if I can answer exactly why they did it, but the idea behind it is decent enough, where like one of the challengers is actually like a brainwashed, like it's actually the challengers book led into the current like event title, because that was a big thing. Like all these books actually kind of like stuck together. Not what we're talking about today at all. That is separately. That is totally separate. But when they rebooted the Justice League Unlimited series, they had a bunch of like little spin-off books, and they were like directly tied to JLU, and all of those had something to kind of do with the other ones in some small facet, and it led to like a conjoining section where it's like, oh, it's this now. It's like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, no, it sounds good. I just don't know why you would ever use Challengers of the Unknown for that.
They're interesting. That's why. They're kind of like the Fantastic Four, but for DC. So, and they have no real powers. they died once and came back, but not really. They
Everyone does that.
Yeah, exactly. It's not special. They just happen to be like the best of their fields, but even arguably they aren't, because Mr. Terrific exists. So, anyway, yeah, the Challengers book is a pretty good adventure comic series. It's like 6 issues, but at some point they had Batman, Superman, and who else joined them briefly? I can't remember, to be honest. Maybe Wonder Woman. But, no, it was Wonder Woman, yeah. But they gave Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman their own Challengers outfits. You know how they're purple?
Okay, it's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, purple and gold. So Batman in a purple and gold suit, he's like, it's not my color. This is not it, guys. It's like this color purple too. It's like a bright purple. Superman loves it though. He's like, yeah, of course I'm going to join the Challengers.
Yeah,
like, yeah, I'm going to put in the purple. Duh. It kind of turns out that Superman's actually kind of like a big Challengers like fanboy.
Oh, I'd absolutely believe Superman does that. He's like, oh my god, it's just like my childhood comics. I finally get some cool stuff. Like, you're Superman. Yeah, that's different.
Whatever. Like, yeah, this is so cool. I'm gonna be the Challengers. He actually for the most of the mission that he's in, he doesn't fly because he wants to be as Challenger as possible.
Oh, God.
He's like, I'm gonna walk. Like, no, we need you to fly. He's like, okay, fine. It's a fun book. It's a fun book.
Right, well, Tristan, if it's none of those, what are we here to talk about?
Son, we are here to talk today. Man, we spent 7 minutes of this. We talk today about Absolute Batman.
Never heard of him.
No, okay. Well, you know here for Batman.
Yeah.
I just told you wore a purple suit.
I assumed that was one of the Challengers or something that no one remembers.
I can definitely see this Batman joining the Challengers, considering how fucking wackadoodle this series has been. Written by Scott Snyder, drawn by Nick Dragota. This has I'm going to discuss every Absolute series I've read so far and have enjoyed. That's not to say I didn't. Not on the docket so far is the Flash and Green Lantern series. The Green Lantern series is interesting, but I kind of need some time with it because I'm not sure if I really get what's going on. In the Flash series, the exact same thing. I couldn't tell you. Like, it's Jeff Lemire. And I trust Jeff Lemire, but I think he's not the right person to write the Flash. But he wanted to do more of a weird, existential horror kind of thing. I don't know. But I'm at least here to talk to you about Absolute Batman, Absolute Superman, Absolute Wonder Woman, as well as eventually Absolute Martian Manhunter, because that is... It's going to be like 4 weeks late. Longer actually, 8 weeks. Goddamn. Anyway, Absolute Batman kicks this whole thing off. And when the Absolute titles were announced, people saw this hulking Batman. Like, oh, this Batman, it's just had the artist is drawing this Batman. He's just a big guy. Whatever, like we get it. He's just trying to make Batman bigger than life, and then it was eventually revealed. No, in Absolute Batman, he's 7 fucking feet tall, and weighs like 400 pounds because he goes to the gym all the time.
He's gonna have some serious knee problems.
He will. Yes, I can actually concur with that. The knee problems and the hip problems from doing squats. I do a lot of squats. Anyway, in Absolute Batman, and in all the Absolute titles, you take the essence of the character. That is not necessarily changed. But what is changed are the origins. What has changed are how their powers or abilities come to be. What has changed is essentially like some of the things that can be changed with the character, but still keep the character the exact same in some respect. Not all of those are totally intact, but plenty of them are. And Absolute Batman is I think the best example of this so far, because, okay, we all know Batman's origin. Except for Hassan, apparently.
Bit by a radioactive bat's my guess.
Man, you are very close with what this actually...
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, I'm not even joking about with Absolute Batman. Especially now, after issue 10 was released. Okay, so Absolute Batman starts off basically it's the guy Batman. He's Batman. He's Batman as fuck. The best thing you can say about these series is that when you point at that character, and I think this is kind of like the where the tagline comes from. You can point at that character and go, "Is that Batman?" And you go, "Absolutely." I'm pretty sure that's what they're shooting for. But this Batman has a few key differences. He's not rich. He is himself a city planner. He's a boy genius. He himself, in this comic, he's only like 25, I think it is. Maybe younger. This is a very early Batman. But he's a genius. He's an engineer, city planner. He knows Gotham inside and out. He never left Gotham in this case, so he didn't do his like world global training. He stayed in Gotham and trained there. Because it's an American city, you can find a lot of the things that Batman trained for, like detective work, jiu-jitsu, like all the martial arts he trained for, all that stuff. You can find that. You don't gotta go worldwide for it. Yeah, if you want to go to the best of the best. But, you know, if you go and train for that stuff, you yourself could eventually be the best of the best. Which is evident as Batman, because Batman is often cited as the best blank, the best there, the best there. And that's the idea behind this character. He never left Gotham because he's in an American city, where he doesn't have to leave Gotham to learn how to be the best at jiu-jitsu, or the best detective. So, that's one thing that's changed about him. The other thing, besides the fact that he's enormous, this guy is an absolute tank. And he fights like it too. This Batman, he's stealthy. It's very off-putting when he is stealthy, because like you wonder how he is not like spotted instantly. But there are some instances where he is creeping around doing his Batman thing. With that said, though, this is a much more violent Batman. Like, we're talking damn near Dark Knight Returns level of violence. Which, in some cases, actually, I would say this actually surpasses it. So, like...
So is he killing or still not killing?
He's not killing anybody. But okay. He is not giving anybody a chance to go and get help. Well, actually, he does. But, like, it's a very sarcastic... Okay. In issue 1, there is a scene in which Batman drops down. He's fighting Black Mask's guys. The first arc is him versus Black Mask, and Black Mask here is just really interesting what they've done with them. We'll get into that in a bit, but I've never seen Black Mask like this. And I equal parts don't like it and love it at the same time, because it's weird. Again, everything in this book is just weird as hell, and that's kind of the point. Yeah, so he drops down and fights Black Mask's goons, and like the biggest guy like comes out. He's like, I'm the big Black Mask goon, and I'm as big as Batman. So they go toe to toe, and Batman's like, nah, the hell with this. And his emblem, they can see in the scene that I have posted above us. It's a big square thing, right? They changed the emblem to a big square. Now, the reason why they've done this is because the emblem itself is a weapon. It's a Batman weapon that he can slot a little stick into, and now it's a hand axe. It's an axe. He gets an axe. Batman's got an axe, and he cuts a guy's hand off.
And Tristan.
Yeah.
So it's a big, squarish dude.
Yes.
Who, out of his chest comes an axe.
You got it.
Tristan, have you been reading Transformers? Are you sure you're not thinking Optimus Prime?
No, that'd be fine. It is quite Optimus Prime like though, except with all the I am the Matrix leadership and honor, etc. Yeah, this Batman has no honor.
Okay.
He's an extremely honorless Batman.
Shots, I gotcha.
Yes, actually, often. His cape is maybe possibly sentient. It's a robot, I think. Like his cape, he does.
This guy suck as the you're like, I could have been any kind of robot, and you made me a cape.
You made me a cape. God, to be fair, Superman. We'll get to Superman, but so is his cape is also a robot too. Just his talks and Batman's doesn't. I'm not sure if Batman's I'm not sure if Batman's cape is actually a sentient robot of some sort, but it definitely seems to react to his body as like an extension of it, and he can like fling it out and like grab guys with it, and like it got these tendrils. The cape isn't just a cape; it's got tendrils attached to it, and it's like sinewy and gross. This Batman also has like fucking
the
like
cape has feelings, Tristan.
It kind of does, yeah. It gets ornery when it gets hit, but it doesn't express that.
Sinewy and gross. It didn't have a choice how it looks.
No, it didn't. That's Batman who built the fucking thing. So yeah, I hear ya. Anyway, yeah. So his cape and his suit in general, it can grow. It has these tendrils. It can grow spikes. Every piece of the suit is a weapon in some way. Every piece. And I'm not even joking. The ears. Throw them. They're throwing knives. Not batarangs, throwing knives. These are just fucking daggers. At one point, he shoves them into a guy's eyeballs.
That's killing, Tristan.
No, the guy's alive. He's just blind now.
Okay.
Yep. I'll point out a very key fact, especially when this stuff comes up, is that in the Black Mask series, in the first arc, the Black Mask stuff, Black Mask is actually he's not brainwashed, but he's sort of employed a lot of civilians, to be like, hey guys, wear the mask. Put on this black mask. You're now an employee.
Mask is Jim Carrey.
No, it's not. Well, I mean, yes, Jim. Well, yeah. Technically, it's Stanley Ipkiss, not Jim Carrey. Come on.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't know anything of that movie.
Son, you're forgetting about like the seminal classic, The Mask. Like, what is?
Yeah. And The Mask 2.
No,
Son of the Mask.
We do not talk about The Mask 2. With fucking what's the name?
I don't want to force you to talk about The Mask 2.
Don't know. I don't wanna.
Maybe I know what I'm doing this weekend.
I guess watching The Mask 2. Jesus.
Apparently.
Oh man. Anyway, so everything with this bad is a weapon. Throw in the ears. The spikes on his forearms get used to just jab into people. He can grow spikes. His boots have so many. They're so heavy. His boots are extremely heavy, and like when he kicks a guy, it looks insane. Like when he does violence, he makes people explode. and sometimes in a gory mess, but usually it's like, oh, they're still alive, just they're not getting up for a long time. And I'm not talking like, oh, they go to the hospital, their arm's broken, whatever. It's like, no, that guy's turned inside out, but he's still breathing. So like, yeah, that's a big change in this Batman. And we'll get into the violence, because like that, I think how absolutely violent this Batman is one of the most interesting things to me. Also his morals and scruples. Because this is clearly an extremely unwell man in this version of Batman. Batman is already a very unwell mentally person. And in this, he definitely he needs to see a therapist. This Batman's got to see a therapist, man. And he ain't going to. He's not going to anywhere near therapy. But anyway, a big part of this, like I said, about the Absolute series is the origins of these characters. And in Absolute Batman, the way this has been changed is that his parents weren't gunned in Crime Alley. No, he actually was on a school field trip with his father as a chaperone, and armed gunmen came to the field trip and tried to do a shooting of some sort. Like, I'm not sure why they were at the zoo, but they killed a bunch of people at the zoo, including Thomas Wayne. And in order to save the kids, Thomas Wayne shoved them all into a bat cave. And only Bruce got, like, horribly scarred from that.
Sorry, it's a zoo with a bat cave?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, you can have bats around. Like, it's interesting to see the different kinds of bats and that kind of stuff. You know.
Yeah, I guess.
Don't worry about it. It makes some sense.
At some point, gotta think this Batman just reflects the, like, would have been better if my dad had shoved me into the elephant cage. I could be Elephant Man. I could be so much more powerful. You
know what? I would accept that more than what they're doing. Bats are not big creatures, but this Batman's just so fucking big. If he had been Elephant Man instead, I'd be like, yeah, this checks out. Or Rhino Man. Yeah. Anything. But yeah, like, you shoved him into the Batcave? Alright, dude. Anyway, Thomas Wayne is dead. And he has been for like a long time. And Martha Wayne, still very much alive. His mom is alive in this series.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose, like, having one parent alive doesn't alter the trauma.
No, it doesn't at all.
Stop him from becoming the Batman we know.
Yeah, exactly. Especially where like this Batman is not a billionaire.
Plus, sets us up for another great. You were talking about Scott Snyder earlier. Sets us up for another great Zack Snyder Martha moment.
Yeah, I guess it does. I cannot wait until we get to Absolute Superman now, because they flipped that entirely on its head. Anyway, so with this story, so Martha Wayne is still alive, and she is essentially the executive, like, administrator for Mayor Jim Gordon, who's his daughter, Barbara Gordon, is the commissioner of the police force.
Tristan, that sounds kind of woke. A female police commissioner.
Well, that's fair. This story is, unfortunately for you and your brainwashed right wingers, son. It's a pretty woke story. This is
I
actually
can't believe they turned Batman woke.
yeah, this is actually a highly like anti-capitalist Batman. And we'll get there in a second because they still talk about it, people that surround Batman as well because there's more to this. Hassan, who are Batman's greatest like rogues gallery villains?
Condiment King?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah, he's here. No, he's not. Although I would not put it past absolute Batman to put the Condiment King in there and make him fucking terrifying. Because so far, every villain in this book has been fucking terrifying. So take your core group of Batman villains though. Joker, Riddler, Crocodile as well, Catwoman, etc. Harvey Dent. You take them, and they are actually Batman's friends because they aren't villains yet, except for Wayman. Way recently, the Crocodile recently got turned into the Crocodile because of reasons. Like horrible Venom-based reasons, like with Bane. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have some sort of a like, for lack of better term, but turns out, in the absolute universe, these characters are, nexus points or whatever, and that's why everyone around him ends up turning into because it's a little bit too much for me, just from you. Maybe it's not so bad reading it, but it feels a little bit too much to be like, and these are all his friends. You're like, really? He's just friends with all these people who are gonna turn into villains. Okay.
Yeah. It's a little weird. I very much agree with that. But it's kind of, yeah. Again, the book is supposed to be super weird. At no point is this book not weird. So the fact that like all these villains are actually his friends and not villains yet, there's at some point they might become the villains that they are supposed to be, like Edward Nygma, etc. At some point they might become that. All of them will be. At least we know Crocodile has been. So Wayman is now the Crocodile. But we don't know if the rest will go that way because I feel like Scott Snyder as a writer wants to do something more interesting than just constantly turn the rest of his crew into villains. And as far as I can tell, like from reading issue 10, it's up in the air whether or not the Crocodile is a villain or not. Like more of a like Spider-Man's the Lizard situation. Where it's like, he's friends with them, but like he turns to a monster and he's trying to keep him away from being a monster, that kind of thing,
Never cared for the Lizard, to be honest.
I like the Lizard, but yeah, I
think it's because it's kind of fatiguing for it to be like, oh, Spider-Man's got through and just about to get, oh no, something he sees his wife and he thinks it's an affair and now he's back to being like just this constant like, oh, Spider-Man almost rescues him and turns him good, but something just stops him.
Yeah,
so
it comes back a lot.
I guess it depends on how they do that and handle it. Because if that's what happens, it's like, oh, Bruce/Batman almost gets through, but then just keeps failing.
I don't know. I'm not sure how they're gonna handle this. Because so far it's been okay. So far the Crocodile stuff is like a drop in the fucking bucket as far as what happened so far. All right, so just back to the Black Mask thing. The Black Mask. Let's go with, there are three main villains we've had so far. Black Mask is the first one. We've had Mr. Freeze, and we've had Bane. So Black Mask, his whole thing is extreme capitalism. And at one point, because extreme capitalism and anarchy, he loves both equally, and he wants to do both at the same time. And so he employs the citizens of Gotham with, like, you put on this black mask, and you are then under his employ to go and kill people or do whatever he wants you to do. And he sends these out like to like the masses. He doesn't want one good person. He wants like thousands of people. And like as you do bad things, your reward goes up. And yeah,
sounds very anime in a way.
It is very anime, yes. Get ready for this book to be pretty anime in a lot of ways. Anyway, yeah. So he's rewarding people this way, and Black Mask is also It's up in the air whether or not Black Mask is like a weird undead monster man. Because at one point I swear that like Batman like turns his head around, like looks like he kills him, like during their fight, but like the Black Mask is like a crazy powerful martial artist for being this tiny little guy. He's just so small. He's like an average sized person compared to Batman, and he's skinny as shit. But his whole thing is that like he just is a wild fighter. So when him and Batman finally like go to toe to toe, it's like Batman almost loses because this dude's just so crazy. And yeah, Batman has to basically like try and kill him to make him stop. And I can't. It's the stuff he does to get this dude off his back is insane. And there's a great moment though where because Black Mask just wants people, he can pay people to just to like do things and stop and that kind of stuff. He's like, "Hey Batman, let me do what I want to do for just 24 hours, and I will pay you $1 billion." And Batman's like, "All right, cool. I accept. I'll take the money." And so what Batman does with the money is he first off forgoes the deal because he's Batman, obviously, but he takes the money and he uses the majority of it to rent out a giant spotlight, and the rest of it he plasters on the spotlight to build his bat symbol, bat signal.
No, hold on.
Yeah.
$1 billion.
Uh-huh.
It's just a spotlight.
It
can't cost that much.
It's a very big spotlight. He also put a bunch into the city as well. So, you know, he has to. So a big.
I think, you know, Bruce is maybe not very smart if he's like went to some dude and he's like, yeah, that'll be a $500 million spotlight. It's like, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
guys, like it's just a really big light. I mean, you know, they sell lighthouse light bulbs. They're not that much. They're a couple $1,000s, but exactly. The guy said,
guy's crazy. So at one point he has all this money, and he does this. He puts a lot more of the money back into the city as well, because I kind of forgot about another thing. So he's a city engineer / city planner kind of guy, and Batman destroys the city of Gotham a lot in this comic, to a point where because of it, all of his like his escapades. Like, his Batmobile is the biggest Batmobile I've ever seen. We call the one in Batman Begins a tank. What he is driving in Batman, in Absolute Batman, is, you know those, like, enormous dump trucks? Like, the ones that, like that have wheels that would basically would span the entire width of a street.
Yeah. The like I forget what they're called, but the
the
ones used in open pit mines kind of thing.
The earth movers, yeah. So he's bought one and modified it to be more bat-like, and has guns and stuff on it. And that's what the Batmobile is. He has a fucking earth mover. Like, this thing rolls, and the whole city knows it.
You telling me the cops haven't managed to track him down?
Oh, they do constantly, yes. They always know where Batman is.
Oh.
Always. Because
all right.
Unless he wants to be stealthy, which he often is too, but like when he's doing his shit, they know exactly where Batman is because he's doing it and it's very loud and very obvious. Because he wants to be a presence. He wants people to know that he is there, and like a insane part of the city. There's also a great scene. So back to his characters, Alfred Pennyworth. They go back to his MI5 origins in this, and they make Alfred a agent who is flown into Gotham to try and assassinate Black Mask. And so like he kind of mentors this Batman a little bit, not that he really needs it all that much. And this Alfred is seen as kind of like, you know, he's just trying to help this guy out because he sees a bit of himself in him. And there's just so many of these moments where they're just talking back and forth about like how to best like break into a place, or you know how he should just kill all the bad guys that he comes across, because then you know that would solve a lot of the problems, etc. All this shit. And at one point, like they kind of team up, and Alfred's just like, okay, I'm gonna do it your way. I'm not gonna kill anybody because you don't want me to. So rubber bullets only. And at one point, it's Alfred and Batman having this initial discussion on the rooftop of this like the skyscraper that Batman is currently helping build as an engineer. And it's like the 22nd floor or something like that, or higher. No, it's way higher than that. It's like the 100th something floor. It's like super high up, and Batman has, of course, hidden a motorcycle on this floor for this meeting because he was iffy about Alfred, because when he shows up, Alfred's like, I gotta kill you because I got orders and you were in the way. I just gotta kill you because you're gonna be a problem. And so this is like the first time they really meet face to face, and Batman's like, fuck that, and he jumps on his motorcycle and drives it off the skyscraper. Now, I'll point out, this motorcycle does not have wings or a jet engine or fucking anything like that.
Okay, so what?
So, yeah, what's his plan? Fuck, man, I don't know. So he does this, and he just opens up the cape and just kind of like glides off of it, which is just like,
okay.
But the thing is, he doesn't glide off of it gracefully. This is like he drives this motorcycle off this building onto the next roof that's like a long distance down, hundreds of meters down. Like boom, hits that building, bounces off, and then glides. And it's just like a like yeah. And this is him kind of trying to exemplify what it's like being a bat, based entirely off of like based entirely. Yes.
No. I don't think that's bat behavior. Gonna be honest.
Yeah. Well, this is based entirely on the I'm gonna put this on the fact that he has burned into his mind this plaque about bats, like these like little like factoids about bats that were on this plaque, that he saw as his father was being killed. And oh man, I try to find this plaque. It's got a few snippets. There it is. Oh, also, I forgot. To escape Alfred who was shooting at him, he has loaded a shotgun with, like, mini bat flechettes. And he shoots Alfred in the face with the shotgun.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. Alright, okay. Okay, this plaque has these 4 facts. Bats fly. Bats hang upside down. Bats walk on their wings. They do. That's actually a thing that they can do. Yeah. Huh. And then the fourth one is bats are crazy.
Okay, I think this Batman needs to go and read the Silver Wing book series, and he'll understand bats way more after
I'm
that.
sure he will, yeah. I'm sure there's something he's going to do. Anywhoozly, so yeah, he oh yeah, there it is. There we go. The fun. I'll post image as I'm editing the show, but yeah. So that's just the Black Mask. Skip ahead to Mr. Freeze. And during the Mr. Freeze stuff, so during this, it's kind of it's out in the open that, at least to his friends, that Bruce Wayne is Batman. So they finally they figure it out by issue 6 that he is Batman, because they put 2 and 2 together. This giant slab of a man, who their friend also is going around beating people up, and has a lot of the same ways of fighting and technology and that kind of stuff that their good buddy Bruce has been working on. Yeah, that's okay. It's pretty easy just to figure out who you are, Bruce. Come on, man. Come on. So they figure it out. And God, he kicks a child. Fuck, I forgot he kicks a kid. God damn it. All right, back to Black Master for 1 second. the funniest scene. So, like I said, Black Mask employs a bunch of weirdos. At one point, he has a bunch of like weirdos with like tentacle heads, and one of them is a child who is transformed into this, and Batman is fighting them, and one of them is just a child with a knife wearing a Black Mask mask, and he runs at Batman, and Batman just picks him up and punts him off a boat.
Into the water?
Into the water, yes, into the ocean. It's the middle of the ocean.
Well, that child died.
That child's dead. I don't care who you are. I mean, I assume because he's a squid person, he's probably fine, but whatever. Anyway, with Mr. Freeze, so Mr. Freeze is interesting because it's still Edward. Like it's still. I almost said Edward Norton. Holy fuck! It's still Mr. Freeze.
Yes.
Yeah. It's still everything you want from Mr. Freeze is there. Absolutely.
Nice to meet you, Batman.
Sure. Except Mr. Freeze has like weird ice telekinetic powers. And then on top of
what does that mean? You can't say ice telekinetic powers.
He has telekinesis powers where he can kind of control ice. And by that I mean he can put ice into somebody's body and then essentially like Fist of the North Star explode them later on.
Okay, that seems like a kind of OP ability.
Quite. Yeah. So this Mr. Freeze, his whole deal is that he likes collecting the bodies of the people he helps. He is also a freak of nature. And I mean, because he's not like wearing a suit or anything. This Mr. Freeze is just like out in the open, usually nude. And yeah, just like blue skin, blue veins. Like he is just does not care. He's crawling on ceilings. He's a weird, like a weird fucking spider.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, like he's skinny too. So he's the kind of guy he'll like just like slip into a vent and then escape you that way and like ambush you later on. He's yeah. Yeah, this Batman series I think is mostly very horror based. As is evident, Batman only barely defeats him, as often happens with all his fights. Mr. Freeze in this one has like, so people go to him to essentially rejuvenate themselves through cryogenics. He has this like weird cryogenic rejuvenation chamber sort of thing, and he has decided that it's a good idea to, instead of like letting these people go, just like keep them in his cryo chambers and use his like ice abilities to essentially take their minds over and murder them and turn them into zombies that he can control. And it's at a point where like when Batman starts fighting them, he doesn't understand that they are like decaying frozen zombies. And when he starts throwing fists, he starts like bashing pieces of them off. He's like, oh, oh no, oh, am I killing somebody? Shit, kind of thing. Yeah, and this whole thing comes to an end where like it is Batman escapes Mr. Freeze. He doesn't defeat Mr. Freeze.
Oh.
Yeah.
So Freeze is still just out there making ice zombies.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So, because Mr. Freeze escapes. So, and then Bane's next after this. And Bane's whole thing is just as weird as Mr. Freeze, but his is more straightforward. Bane is kind of like the culmination of both Black Mask and Mr. Freeze, in that he's a very rich guy who, of course, he's still Bane. He's still like a Colombian drug lord / assassin kind of guy. Like he's that dude. He's what you expect from Bane. He has the venom tubes, the luchador mask, everything. Like, yeah, he's what you want. He's ginormous. He's somehow bigger than Batman, but only by a little bit. Except for when he uses like too much venom. So Bane likes to experiment on people with venom. And as of this episode, so he kidnapped the guy who's, Wayman, who was supposed to be Killer Croc, and because Wayman's like up for like he's gonna be like he's like up to be like possibly the next biggest thing in boxing, and so he kidnaps him. Is like, I need a guy who's gonna be really good in boxing. I need like a good fighter, and I'm going to enhance the shit out of them. How am I gonna do so? Crocodile genes. And so he places his crocodile genes with venom and makes him into a big old crocodile man, as you do. And this kind of sparks the mystery of like Batman trying to solve where his friend Wayman went. And in the issue where this happens, Batman gets captured by Bane. That's issue 9. Issue 10 has just recently come out as of this episode. And issue 10... issue 10 is some shit. So Batman is captured. He is stripped naked, left in this like windowless cell, and fed through essentially a tube, and they're trying to experiment on him. They keep trying to get to him to do experiments on him, but they have a hard time doing that. He's they try to gas him, that kind of stuff, but he
is he in a room with a proper toilet?
No.
Oh, he's just pooping in the corner.
Yes. 100%. They don't show that, but 100%. I've seen the room that he's in. There's no toilet, no bed, nothing. White, featureless, circular room. It's a big circle, so he can't actually climb the walls or anything. And the ceilings are high. So, he spends a lot of time in this jail cell, and it's implied he's there for a long time. And I mean, potentially months. Captured in this jail cell, and he has turned the IV bags, he's somehow hardened the liquid in there. So it's essentially acting as armor for him. So he wears that when the guards show up, and he's just Charles Bronson-ing this like crazy. Do you know Charles Bronson?
Yes.
Okay. For any of those who don't know, Charles Bronson is regarded as the most notorious criminal in the UK. He has been passed around between multiple prisons throughout his entire life. He is also a boxer, a bare knuckle boxer, and not a murderer, but he's done multiple assaults and attempted murders.
No, I believe he is a murderer.
Is he a murderer? I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure he's committed murder, but he is definitely most famous as just a single-minded pugilist.
Yep, pretty much. He's very smart, though, on top of that. As far as the way he approaches his problems, anyway. Because the notorious story about Charles Bronson is that he would, when he would rile the guards up and get them to come and fight him, he would strip naked and grease himself up. And so they couldn't grab him, and he would just throw down. And in the movie Bronson, about Charles Bronson, played by Tom Hardy, he is in the most seminal scene. He is naked, and he's greased himself head to toe, and he throws down and just defeats 20 guards, something like that. It's wild. And this is kind of what's happening in Absolute Batman. But instead of greasing himself up, he's got a little bit of armor he's applied to himself. And he has made multiple escape attempts, and all of them have failed. But it's implied, it's also seen that at some point he has fight by fight by fight, because he keeps breaking jaws, extracted so many teeth from people that he's making fucking tchotchkes and wrapping them around his arms and fists and punching them with their own teeth and shit.
Yeah, he definitely needs to see a therapist.
Yeah, he needs to see a therapist real bad, doesn't he? Yes. But they do eventually get him, and they experiment on him, and he is given bat DNA. They shave him. He's got these it's like they've peeled his skin off and put implants in him, because you can kind of see the lines where they have done shit to him, and they've shaved his head and all this shit. And so at one point, at the end of this whole thing, they give him his suit back, and he makes another attempt at an escape, and they just kind of let him out into this main area, and a bunch of man bats show up. So man bats here now, technically, and they're all "Hey, Batman, what do you want us to do? You're our leader."
Okay, all right, didn't see that coming.
No, and that's where this whole thing has ended so far, and this is fucked. I gotta say, the Absolute comics so far have been some of the best comics I've read, but only only the ones that are like just willing to push the envelope so far. And every time they do, anytime they've changed the idea of what this character is, changed the genre, did something different, I just, it's not, I can't say it's better than like the base comics over in like the DCU, but at the same time, like, man, there's something to be said about having Batman just doing wild stuff like this. I gotta say, I appreciate these comics because you take a character that everybody knows, because if you do this with a different character, at some point, comic fans will be like, yeah, you know what? I want to read that. I want to read it. Like, okay, The Pedestrian's a great example. This is a comic about a guy who is the ultimate pedestrian. He's a superhero. His whole thing is helping people. He doesn't throw any punches or anything. When he fights, he just does like tactile dodging, and people will often like hit each other, kind of thing. It's stuff like that. The Pedestrian is just really good at speed walking, but his whole thing is that he fights existential threats to his town. And it's kind of like it boils down to Batman, who loves his city so much that he needs to do the best he can for it. And the Pedestrian's the same way. And normally, when you throw somebody a comic like the Pedestrian, you go like, hey man, you should read this. You're telling that to specifically a comic person. Like if somebody threw me a copy of the Pedestrian, was like, you should check this out, this is crazy, I'd be like, yeah, hell yeah, okay, I'm gonna read this. But when you put, hey, here's a weird Batman story, they let them go off and do some crap. Here's the weird stuff. Read this, new person who doesn't read comics. Like, you might dig this. If you like weird crap, here's your in to the comics universe. And I kind of like that, because all of these are, like I said, they're all pretty weird. I think the tamest one so far is Superman, and that one's still pretty fucking weird.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we should start wrapping up, but you know, because you mentioned some of those others. I do have a question, which is, so when do we get the absolute Shining Knight?
I don't know. We might. Here's the thing. We very well might get that, because I did not expect them to do absolute Martian Manhunter. I know, like, yes, he's a JLU member and all that kind of stuff, and like a family member of that. But at the same time, I did not expect them to do Martian Manhunter at all. I kind of thought they would have just been like, nobody's really big into this character. But that book so far is like, if you're going to read any absolute title, it's either Batman or Martian Manhunter. And I think Martian Manhunter is like...
Hold out for Shining Knight.
If they do, it might be amazing. Because like I said,
look, he's the only member of the 7 Soldiers of Victory that anybody remembers about.
I guess so. Like, you remember it, so yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, yeah, I mean, we might get absolute anything at this point. So far, the experiment is working, which this is essentially DC Comics' answer to the Ultimate Universe over at Marvel. But Marvel, the Ultimate Universe, for some reason, it's supposed to be, what if superheroes existed in our universe? What if they were real, kind of thing? And that's fine for a while, but like at a certain point, it doesn't feel that way at all.
The Ultimate Universe is still going?
It was revived a couple years ago, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Weird.
It died, and then they revived it again, and now it's way different. So they did stuff like Spider-Man is not Miles Morales in that one, and he is he's like, yeah, he's older. He didn't get his powers until he was like way older and shit. Yeah, it's a whole thing. The Ultimate Universe right now is like, Evil Reed Richards from the original Ultimate Universe made this new universe. It's fucking... Yeah, I have not read a single issue of it because I don't care enough for what they're trying to do. But, like, him as the maker is doing some crazy shit, and it's wild. And, like, yeah, it's, like, Wolverine's got his own comic, and he's weird now, and it's every weird, but not in kind of, like, a fun way. I don't know, I haven't really read a whole lot of it, and I've bounced off of it multiple times, so... But the absolute stuff, though. For some reason, this is the weird I like. This is the weird I really enjoy. Where it's just like, yeah, we boiled down the essence of this character and just let it rip.
Marvel needs more characters pooping in the corner for you.
Yes. Yeah, Batman will be your guy. If you need more guys pooping in the corner, Batman's got you covered, baby. Oh man, is he ever. In excrement.
No. Why do you tell me where to find us?
I don't want it anymore. Blue Sky said, EIF NIR, we're there at Blue Sky. Go and tweet at us about how much you like Absolute Batman. I always call it Ultimate Batman, but it's Absolute Batman. Absolute. Yeah. And you should also go to our iTunes, Spotify sites, rate us something, leave reviews, catch us in your podcatcher. Go to our YouTube channel where you're watching this right now and just click buttons until Absolute Batman shows up and he breaks a child in half, I guess. Look, man, that guy's lawless. Truly lawless.
Who knows? Maybe the child had it coming.
Ooh, maybe. Child was embezzling millions.
Exactly.
Yeah, right into a drug fund she was using to shoot Thorazine up into people at night, and then turning them into zombies, and he was going to unleash those zombies onto the rest of the world, the rest of Gotham, and this is the ventriloquist. Yeah.
Okay.
You know? It's not bad.
No, it's believable.
It's pretty, honestly, if I see the ventriloquist and he's not doing this, I think Scott Snyder is fucking missed out. Anyway, go to our friends over at DJDang.com. It's got some music. DJDang.com. Go there, listen to his great tunes, and give him about $1 million and see if he can build a bat signal.
For $1 million, he better be able to.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. Anyway, that is it for our show. Tune in next time for another Earlship episode of Everything is Finally Ruined. See ya.
See ya.
Say it.